Greetings and welcome. This is the Video Game Sage. Welcome to my channel. This is my first video. Starting this Sage journey with a From Software game, Sekiro. I am going to be doing a New Game Plus. I did complete this game, and there were some things that I didn't accomplish correctly. And so what I'm going to be doing on this playthrough is obtaining the quote-unquote bad ending, and then starting another New Game Plus, where I will do everything required to get to Father Owl so that I can get the second iteration of the Kawarada memory, and so that I can get the best ending. So here we go.
一心の国取りから24年。アシナの国は斜陽にあり。狼の忍びはすべてを失っていた。育ての義父も、守るべき主も。
That's cool. That's interesting. It doesn't start you out with the full ending, or sorry, starting cinematic, showing Wolf's childhood.
目覚めてください。あなたの主のために。
Oh, my glorious hand. I shall enjoy every moment while I still have you. And let her thrown into the well. The Rose Wolf, your destiny awaits you at the Moon View Tower. Escape from the wall and find the tower bathed in moonlight. Even without a blade, you can reach it. Stay silent. Stay vigilant. All right. For anyone unfamiliar, Sekiro is a ninja or shinobi game. You play as Wolf, a shinobi, a ninja essentially, sworn to protect and serve the divine heir. All of this is loosely based on the real history of Japan, and I started playing this game a few months ago. I had just completed watching Shogun and thought this would be a good idea. It is my third From Software game. Technically I started with Bloodborne, but I didn't last very long in it. I didn't get it. I was too impatient. The fact that you couldn't pause really irritated me, and so I didn't continue with it. Later, I was convinced to try Elden Ring, as it was more open world, and so I gave it a shot, and it was a steep learning curve. I took about a little over a year to complete that game. And the second half of that year went a lot more quickly than the first half in terms of what I accomplished. But those first 6 months were some of the most difficult gaming I've ever done, and I almost gave up. And finally, the From formula started to click. And once I completed that game, I was like, oh, I've been playing this game for a year and I'm done. I'm done with this stuff. I need to move on to something else. And only a couple more days later, and I was feeling the itch. I'm like, no, I want to keep playing. So I pulled out Bloodborne again. And I got through that in about a month, and it was so enjoyable. And at that point I figured, you know what? I have the measure of a FromSoft game. And I didn't try Sekiro immediately at that point. Instead, I played other things. I'm a lifelong gamer since I was, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old. Whenever I got my Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. And I am a big Nintendo fan, but I am a big video game fan. And so I played other things. And the Elden Ring DLC came along this last summer. And I played through that. And I defeated promised consort Radon before he was patched.
井戸底におるあの忍び、特に稼などしておりませんが、構わぬのでしょうか。
大事ない。刀もなく気力すらない。奴はもうただのふぬけよ。
And after defeating Radon, who took me probably 2 weeks, but I did it, I was still feeling that itch. I was ready for something else, I thought, and then I was still feeling that itch. So I picked up Sekiro, and I thought the Elden Ring learning curve was tough. I came into this game thinking, hey, I know how to play FromSoft games. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to be all right. But Sekiro plays so different than even Elden Ring and Bloodborne, and it was a steep learning curve. I had a real hard time learning to parry, which is the primary mechanic in this game. And I have other observations. I'll get into those as the journey continues. But I loved it, I completed it, and I am doing my first ever New Game Plus with this. I've never done one of those with a From game, but I missed a lot of stuff, and I want to see that stuff, and I want to share all that with you. So here we go.
君櫓が今宵も月に照らされておる。巫女様はまた月明かりで書をお読みかの。
そうじゃな。まだほんの子供というに。囚われとは気の毒なことじゃ。
ああ、源一郎様も何かを考えがあるのだろうが。
So one of the main things, of course, that sets this apart from other FromSoft games is the element of stealth. And while they worked part of that into Elden Ring, at the time this came along, it was a new mechanic. And it still sets it apart. The stealth that's in Elden Ring is not the same as what you find here. Gameplay is also faster, and you have a little bit greater mobility. You certainly jump higher. But you start out in this intro period where you don't even have a weapon. And your first mission is to find your master, the Divine Child. And here he is.
よく来てくれた。久しいな、狼よ。
お迎えに参上いたしました。我が主。
表を上げよ。くさび丸、そなたの刀だ。我が忍びよ、主従の約定に従い、命を賭し我に仕えよ。
御意。
And now we have our weapon. And there's something else up here. I do not want to miss it. Some pellets. Okay. All right. Okay.
狼よ、そなたの体、
その後とは。
あの世のこと覚えておらぬのか。
はい。
Oh, I remember that night.
いや、司祭は後にしよう。今はこのアシナの城を脱さねばならぬ。
御意。
堀沿いに進んだ橋の下に場外への抜け穴がある。一心様よりそう聞いたことがある。まずはその橋下の抜け穴を見つけてきてほしい。見つけたらそうだな、足の歯笛で合図をくれるか。ほら昔聞かせてくれたであろう。こうピーッとな。その音を頼りにそなたのもとへ行こう。狼よ、そなたからも何かあるのか。
これを巫女様に。
There's a
それ
difference.
はあの時に。そうか、気づいていたのだな。
持っていていただきたいのです。
だがこのお守りは今まで苦難を抑えそなたを守っていた。それを超える苦難など追ってほしくはない。だからできればこのまま持っていてくれぬか。
わかりました。今しばらく。
そうしてくれ。そなたが持っていてくれるならば私
I'm
も
glad you're
安心だ。
comforted. And now it's time to go kill some fools. I should probably be playing this game in English language. But I just can't bring myself to. I am a longtime anime fan, and I am used to watching that stuff in English, but I've heard how it sounds in other videos, and it just sounds wrong. Can't do it. Can't do it. Ah! Sometimes I'm still not great at parrying. Fine. Ah. Come on, man. There might be a little rust from having only done this a couple months ago. Alright, time for the intro's boss. So the major gameplay mechanic in this game, of course, is parrying. As I said, I had a hard time. Had a real hard time adapting to this kind of playstyle. After playing Elden Ring and utilizing my movement to avoid damage and to gain an advantage. That's what I was used to. So having to stand and take those hits and parry at just the right moment, that was a hard transition. No, no! I promise I'm not terrible at this game. I promise. I really did beat it. Oh yeah, you can listen.
この橋の下、堀のどん詰まりに抜け穴があるじゃろ。あそこも見張りせよとの仰せじゃと。
They know.
なんとも限界なことじゃ。戦が近いのかもしれんの。
War will be upon you very soon. One of my favorite things that I learned kind of later in the game on my first go through was stealth kills like that. Very satisfying. All right, we're about at the end of the intro. Coming upon our first real boss, Genichiro.
狼をよく見つけてくれた。さあ、参ろう。
御意。
血の定めから逃れることしかできぬとはな。この城を出てい
Yes.
ずこへ参ろうか。まずはアシナの国を離れるか、あるいはそなたはどう思う？
御意のままに。
御意か。そなたは変わらぬな。
は。
いや、懐かしいと思うてな。さあ、参ろう。
Come on, Princey Pooh. Let's do this.
久しいな、巫女よ。叔父上の墓前以来か。
源一郎殿。私は すまぬ。
We'll take care of this. Leave this to me. And we're off to a swimming start. No! Oh, that was it. Couldn't even get my Makiri off. Goodbye, arm! I'll miss you. Never noticed before. His breastplate is Western. At least it seems like it is. That's interesting. It hurts so bad. Oh, Nani? The Sculptor.
どうやらまだ死の定めではないと見える。
Shinobi prosthetic. All right. You know, part of what I love about From Software games is how difficult it is to understand the story. And I say that definitely not as an insult. It's not that it's difficult to understand the story. The base stories are usually pretty simple to understand if you pay attention. But they do so much world building. They do so much. It's so deep and so layered. And there's information there to be had that you may never see. And you're not necessarily missing out by seeing it, but when you do see it, when you do understand it, it is such a much more rich experience. And to a certain extent, I don't even really care about spoilers when it comes to these kinds of games because of that reason. There's so much there that having a small event in the gameplay spoiled, not a big deal. Whole communities across the internet have popped up around trying to discover, research, understand the lore and stories that are built into these games. And I love that. It reminds me from when I was a kid. You know, when I played The Legend of Zelda, all we had for story what was in the manual and what was stated in that opening crawl when you turn the game on. And you made up the rest. And it reminds me of that. It gives me that same feeling. And certainly the challenge of these games, the difficulty, reminds me of those grand halcyon days as well. 8-bit, 16-bit gaming. If you don't like it, get off my lawn. All right, let's talk to this guy.
名は何という。その目、さしずめ、任に敗れた狼といったところか。
言えぬ。
それが忍びじゃな。わしは仏を掘らなきゃなら。お前さんはお前さんで好きにしな。
One of the reasons I missed out on endings before, and even certain bits of understanding, is because I didn't talk to characters enough. So I'm going to do that.
どうやったって怒り顔だ。業深いものはそうなる。お前さんもいつか掘ってみればわかるだろうさ。それで何か用か。
何故俺はここにいる。
Isn't that the question for all of us?
屍かどうかもわからぬものを野良犬に食わせてやることもあるまい。
どれほど俺は眠っていた。
お前さんを拾ってからずいぶん経つぞ。
そうか。
じゃが主の主は
When you know the layout of the maps, from where you lose your arm to where you are now, how did this guy drag you that far?
すぐにもその血を利用されちまうだろう。お前さんを見ればその価値は十分にあろうというものじゃ。
この左腕。
What did you do to me? I'm a
そ
freak.
いつは忍び義手。石腕の狼にはおあつらえ向きの牙じゃろうて。仏を掘るには無用でな。お前さんにくれてやる。
忍び義手。
そいつはただ失った腕を補うもんじゃない。任具を見つけたらわしのところに持ってくるがいい。
任具だと。そうか。このからくり。
察しがいいな。任具を持
You
ってき
catch
た
on quick.
ら忍び義手に仕込んでやる。そうすりゃその義手のありがたみがわかるじゃろうさ。喋りすぎたな。いい気な。
巫女様の血が利用されるとはどういうことだ。
わしも詳しいことなど知らん。ただ流院、そう呼ばれる特別な血があるという。主の主はそれを持っておる。
それゆえ巫女様は
付け狙われる。お前さんの体が
It's in the
妙な
blood.
ことになっておる
It's in the
のも
blood.
そのせいかもしれぬな。お前さんもこの荒れ寺にはおかしな客がまあまあ訪れる。寺を出て右手の広場にもそうした者が一人おる。妙なことになっておる者同士、気が合うかもしれんな。
All right. Our first idol. Changing my form. I want to go with the ninja. the ninja outfit. Tired of seeing Wolf in all his gray hair. Though I too have gray hair, as I am old. And yep, now I've got my prosthetics back. Awesome. I want ninja stars though. Alright. But let's go through and get to the first boss. First mini boss, really. Finish knocking off our ring rust. Start making that money back. Yeah, let's just go get him. Bye-bye. In real life, of course, I am a staunch pacifist, but these guys gotta go. Ah. Gotcha both. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Technically, where you fight Genichiro is kind of just beyond those towers, maybe a little bit more over there. And I see cliffs, mountains, deep ravines. How'd the sculptor get me all the way up there? All right. Get our last few items. I don't think I missed anything. Oh, yeah, I did. As I said, in real life, I'm a pacifist. And in real life, I would never hurt a poor dog just doing its best to assist its masters. But in FromSoft games, those dogs gotta go. They are mean. And they gots to go. Alright. Ah, yes, okay. All right. Here's our first mini boss, a general. And I gotta be honest, I still kind of have a hard time with the generals. But we might as well get after it. Ah. See what I mean? You see what I mean? Oh, for real? Oh, man. Ah, yes. This is not my first rodeo, though. Alright. Let's heal once. Yes, yes. Alright. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna lose to the first mini boss of the game. Nope. Ah. Blast it. Reduces his posture damage. Not again. Ah. Not again. Come on. Alright, there's our first. Now one more. Nope. Ah, every time. Good night. Heavy coin purse. All right. This is a new game plus after all. Everybody gets more difficult. But this is where we will end things for today. Thank you for joining. As always, if you enjoy what you see, like, subscribe, comment, and come back next time.